Welcome to the Campfire. Today we are taking a deep dive into District 85A Division 1. The teams in this district are Goose Creek Memorial, Baytown Lee, Sterling, Crosby, Kingwood Park, LaPorte, Barbers Hill, Porter, and Port Arthur Memorial. Let's start off by analyzing these teams in our film session. Last year, Port Arthur Memorial put a stronghold on this district as they only lost one game and took the crown. District MVP Davian Wilson must be replaced, but the Titans have more in the tank, including running back Jacorin Baker and receiver Jaquan Holmes. Crosby snuck into the postseason in the fourth and final spot after 2 years of making it to at least the state semifinal. The Cougs' ground attack should be worrisome for opponents as they will feature the two-headed monster of Levi Fontenot and Wesley Yarbrough. Barbers Hill and Kingwood Park tied for second in district play last year and should be players in the 8-5A race this year as well. Kingwood Park will need to replace their playmakers Patrick Overmeyer and Pierce Richards, but should still finish in the upper half. The Eagles of Barbers Hill have the passing combination of Cody Fuentes and Brady Thompson that will produce fear throughout the district. New Caney Porter might be primed for a playoff push as they scored the most points in the district last year. Baytown Lee was the only 8-5A team to figure out Port Arthur Memorial last year, but went 2-5 against the rest of the district. LaPorte returns 700-yard rusher Tyrese Barnes as a junior. Sterling will need to find some offense as they averaged under 10 points a game in district play, while Goose Creek Memorial went winless in 8-5A in 2022. For an even deeper look at 8-5A Division 1, here's producer Ward Fasold and the Houston Chronicle's John Poorman with the district breakdown.
All right, it is district breakdown time, and we are talking with my main guy, John Poorman from the Houston Chronicle. We've moved on to 5A Division 1, and we're starting off with the 9-team district of 8-5A Division 1, which was very challenging last year. Port Arthur Memorial ended up taking it, but a lot of teams jumped up that, we didn't see much of in the years before, like Kingwood Park specifically. How do you think this district's going to fall out this year?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, you got to think that Port Arthur Memorial is going to be the team to beat coming back again this year. That's a program that fields a pretty good team every single season. So, you got to say going into it that they're going to be the favorites. Kingwood Park obviously, had a great performance last year, but they lose a couple of guys in receiver Pierce Richards and quarterback Patrick Overmeyer, who were, big-time playmakers for that offense. Coming down the line here, I'm looking at Crosby as well for maybe a bounce-back season. Obviously, after 2 incredible years in which they reached the state championship and the state semifinals, the expectations were really high in 2022, especially with the returning quarterback that they had. But I'm really looking for them to kind of get back on track. I think that they have the culture in place to be able to do that. So, Barbers Hill obviously had a pretty solid season last year. 2 years ago, they knocked off Marshall in the first round of the playoffs. So that's a program that's always solid as well.
All right. Well, we'll talk 9-5A Division 1 when I talk to you next week.
Sounds good.
We'll post the entire district breakdown this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now let's take a look at some game changers and our players on the rise presented by Parker University. The best returning arm in the district could be Cody Fuentes of Barbers Hill. As a junior, he tossed the pill for over 2,600 yards and 29 touchdowns while completing 60% of his passes. His favorite target, Brady Thompson, returns as well, so look for Fuentes to light up the sky again in 2023. Cody is an accomplished triple jumper as well and helped the Eagles win district this past season. Levi Fontenot of Crosby is one of the best running backs returning in 2023. Injuries limited him to only 8 games last year, but he made the most of it. Fontenot ran for 820 yards and 8 scores for the Cougars and earned himself a unanimous first-team All-District selection. He's a big, strong back and will form a thunder and lightning type backfield with Wesley Yarbrough for Crosby. Porter's Ryan Gilliam is a ferocious linebacker in 8-5A Division 1. The unanimous first-team All-District selection finished his junior season with 113 tackles and 18 tackles for loss. Gilliam also tallied 5 sacks. Ryan handles his business in the weight room as well as he benches 385 pounds and squats 515. All that means is when he hits you, it hurts. Davon Ills of Port Arthur Memorial was the 8-5A Division I Defensive MVP in 2022. Ills lured opposing quarterbacks into throwing his way, and then he'd find a way to make a play. He finished his junior year with 6 picks and even made a house call. Look for Davon to make some game-changing plays in 2023. He's got offers from Lamar and Sam Houston. Our Ward Fasold caught up to a head coach in this district to talk about their team in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day. We are talking 8-5A Division I. I almost said Division II again. Coach, I'm here with Barbers Hill head coach Carl Adsick. Coach, going into your 3rd year, first of all, let's talk about your 2nd year, which was a new district for you, 9 teams, very competitive. You ended up finishing second, a tie for second with Kingwood Park. You guys both fell a little short behind Port Arthur Memorial, but if you look at your district gains, I mean, you lost by a touchdown to LaPorte, you lost by 2 to Memorial. You were right in there in all these games. Talk about what you saw with your team and how you can kind of build off of it for this coming year.
Well, I think more than anything, our kids have continued to get a better grasp of what we're doing offensively and defensively to play the style that we want to play on both sides of the ball. We had a full off season going into this year, and so that was certainly helpful. Had spring ball. We had a lot more opportunities for growth going into that 2nd year than we did the 1st year. And so I think, all those factors, along with having some really talented kids, allowed us to be right in the thick of it all the way through the district race, which is a really, really competitive district. And our kids gave us a chance to be successful and really fought hard. And even in the 2 games we fell short, we had opportunities to change the outcome. And so, gave us a lot of confidence moving forward that, if we play the way we're capable of and we continue to develop like we want to develop, then, we're going to have opportunities to win a championship.
You got Cody coming back, you got Brady, you got Kyler coming back. Are you excited about your offensive firepower?
Yes. We've got, a large number of our playmakers back. Honestly, we returned 3 of our top 4 receivers from this past year with Brady and Kyler and Tripp. And then, we hope to get back in great time Josiah Herndon, who had 17 touchdowns as a sophomore and missed his junior year for injury. So we're excited to get him back. You got a kid named Landon Smith who, caught, I think, 5 touchdowns last year and is the fastest kid in the district.
We will keep an eye on this district, and I hope your 3rd season goes with the district title, Coach.
Well, I do too. We've worked real hard. The kids have put in a lot of time and effort, and the coaches. So we're excited about our potential, and then now it's our goal and our job to go out and make it happen.
You can catch the entire interview Friday on our social media channels. That's going to do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we dive into 9-5A Division I. Until then, have a great week, everybody.